These mountains are depositories of water stored as ice. When warm temperatures change the ice to liquid, gravity does its work. The water tumbles down as the Russian River, starting at the upper and then to the lower Russian Lake. It is a journey that makes life possible for the salmon, and salmon brings the fishermen. Like these two-legged bears in neoprene and rubber waders. But multitudes of human feet were more than the river bargained for. The water has a container, the bank, and the container hangs in there because of trees, brush, grass. Well, it's a complicated story. This is where the salmon spawn. They need more than just a floor. They need a whole house. They need a nursery, a place to start a family. What we're going to see today is how the Youth Restoration Corps are putting a house back in order for these salmon. They are learning how to create a future for all of us. Kelly Wolf, director of the Corps, will take us along and introduce us to his young crew.
Good morning. It's June of 1999. I'm the director of Youth Restoration Corps. And we're back down here on the Russian River. YRC program was established in 1997 as a non-profit organization which we hire local youth each year from area high schools to do bank restoration on Andromeda streams in Alaska. I'm down here just trying to get a little fishing time in.
Kelly isn't the only one hoping for some fishing time. There are these ducks, a few folks, but let's meet the people who are working to help keep the fish coming.
My name is Carly Bear, and I'm a group supervisor here at YRC working on the Russian River with high school students from the local area. This is my third year with the YRC. I'm going to be a high school biology teacher when I finish my career, so this is a good opportunity for me to get experience working with high school students in a biology type field. This year, the kids that have been coming back know what they're doing. They're more experienced. They can help the other students. This year we've covered a lot more lineal feet than we have in past years, which is surprising because in other years we've done a whole lot. I think the youth like working outside on the YRC project. They like getting involved in the community. They can give something back to the environment by stabilizing the banks, and then they can return to this spot year after year and still have fish to catch. I like to fish very much. My dad started taking me fishing when I could walk. Well, this is part of the area where I grew up, the Russian River and the Kenai River. It's all part of the system where I started fishing when I could walk. And these fish are very important to the people that live here. The YRC has done so much for this river by stabilizing the banks, making good root systems, planting trees and grass, so the juvenile salmon have a place to hide from the rainbow trout that are trying to eat them so they can survive into adulthood. This type of job is so much better than working in the office. I just like being outside and being with the kids. It makes me feel young again.
My name is Gary Liepitz. I'm a habitat biologist with the Alaska Department of Fish and Game's Habitat and Restoration Division. I'm stationed on the Kenai and the Kenai River Center, which is a one-stop shopping permit and regulatory processing center for projects that affect the Kenai River and its tributaries, much like this, the Russian River. Behind me you can see the mouth of the Russian River and some of the areas here where a lot of focused fishing occurs. We have a lot of recreational fishing pressures on these rivers, which have effects on the stream banks. One of the things that we are doing is working with groups like the Youth Restoration Corps to do habitat restoration, to promote fish habitat for rearing juvenile fish while promoting sound fisherman access. We believe that the projects that the Youth Restoration Corps and groups like that are doing have been very significant to helping us promote sound, stable streams and to help us deal with the increasing numbers of people utilizing these resources. Without that kind of work, the rivers are going to be eroding at a much quicker rate, widening and shallowing out, changing water temperatures, and losing the cover component that's so critical to these rearing fish that are in the systems anywhere from 1 to 3 years before out migrating to the ocean. The Youth Restoration Corps has been a big benefit, as far as we can see, in doing habitat restoration both on the tributaries like the Russian River, as well as on main stem public access sites like the Swiftwater Park down in the city of Soldotna. A group of about 10 to 12 high school age students that work during the summer months doing habitat protection restoration projects. They're educated in the life history of the salmon and the fish habitat needs and requirements, and in the process are also doing hands-on restoration projects like we see up and down the Russian River here. Over the past 3 years, the Youth Restoration Corps has repaired a lot of bank damaged areas where the fishermen or bank anglers have come into the river, and then we've had high water flood events that have eroded the banks, and we've seen a lot of habitat improvements as a result of their diligent efforts. They're using new techniques called bioengineering, where we use soft bank protection measures like root wads, organic materials, grass clumps, and biodegradable materials that help us stabilize the banks, promote vegetation, that provides fish habitat and cover and foodstuffs that help to produce more fish in these systems. At the same time, they're promoting and putting in walkways that provide access for the bank anglers to get over the banks while not damaging them and get into the river where they can do their fishing and capture the fish. We've been real excited about the results of these programs, seeing a lot of bank restoration occurring and a lot of fish rearing right along the areas that have been rehabbed that were before just trampled, denuded, muddy quagmires.
Hey, my name is Dustin McBride. I'm working for YRC. We do bank restoration. We work here with the fishermen. I do this job because I like it. You get money, a lot of money. You get to help the environment. We put in root wad structures to protect the bank, give fish habitat. One of the processes we have to go through is carrying a rock over to our root wads, and in doing that we go out and find rocks, little rocks, and usually large rocks, which we like to classify under rock, and we've gotten a couple. Last year was fun. We were able to get about a 300-pound rock, carried it for about a quarter of a mile in a wheelbarrow. Retired the wheelbarrow that year, so we had to downsize this year, just a little bit.
The list of why people come to the Russian River is long. 5 species of salmon, a healthy rainbow trout population, Dolly Varden. It's on the road, and you can fish from the bank. Add in public facilities, and you can see why 55,000 users a year are in the river. This is Cottonwood Point, the first root wad structure built by hand. As a national 501c3 nonprofit organization, the Youth Restoration Corps is dedicated to employing and educating youth. The young folks get their hands dirty, they sweat, get sore muscles, and they learn a work ethic while learning what they do is more important than a paycheck. They change trampled vegetation to tall growth.
My name is Tia Rich, and we're setting up the sprinklers to water all the vegetation that we planted, because if they don't have enough water, then they'll die. We learned how to test a lot of different things for the river, like pH balance of the river and what different types of vegetation can go on what different types of stream banks. Good exercise. You get to move around a lot and be more active than if you were just sitting behind a desk. It's good that we're trying to preserve it before anything gets too bad, because it's really important, I think, and especially in Alaska, because this is where a lot of people come to view nature and wildlife, and it's important that we keep it here. My name's Charity Curtis. I'm here with the SYE Peaks program, and I'm here on work, and right now I just got done planting trees. You get a lot of fun out of it. You're not stuck at home watching TV or nothing. You're out having fun out and with other friends and stuff, and it's you have fun doing it because you're with other people. You know you're doing something good, planting trees and helping out with the plant life out here.
My name is Dean Davidson. I'm a soil scientist with the Chugach National Forest, and I'm their representative working with the Youth Restoration Corps program here on the Russian River. My function here is to work as a technical advisor and a work leader and also project design person to implement the various methods of restoration, to help in the instruction, and to ultimately teach the kids about these systems.
I'm Taylor Medley. I go to Sohai, and I'm from Soldotna, and I'm working for the Youth Restoration Camp. I think I like to get dirty because it's fun. We get to do hands-on instead of just reading about it in a book or something. Because we'll do educational talks at the Kenai River Center, and we'll learn about it, then we'll go out and do it, and it's just nice to see the results as you go along. The hardest things to do is, well, when we're trying to transplant things and we've got a lot of rooty area with lots of tree trunks and stuff in the way, or maybe rocks, it's not a very easy soil or forgiving soil to work with. We have to like shovel around it and pull things out of the way so that we can get roots in there down in the dirt. And also moving the big root wads that we stick into the ground to protect or to like disperse the energy of the water coming against the bank. Those are really heavy and hard to work with because they have big long trunks and roots. We have to put those in a wheelbarrow and move them around. That's hard. It's man's fault. All the heavy traffic area coming through here, that's the reason why it went away. And just knowing that we can recognize that and come back and fix it is just a good feeling. Knowing that we're not completely helpless, just watching the banks wash away. We're not trying to keep the river in one place because it's natural for a river to change courses every once in a while. And we're not trying to prevent that from happening. We're just trying to keep the banks sturdy and secure so that if it does flood, they'll still stay there. So that it might switch courses and then maybe come back again. You get to meet new people coming down and fishing, people just camping. And we got a real close-knit group, and we're all becoming really good friends. And plus we get to do fun stuff like raft down the river and do hikes and do educational talks and stuff. I do it again just to come back and see the progress that we made, because we've gone down and hiked further upstream and seen the stuff that they did last year, and it took really well. Everything just kind of went together and grew up, and we've got really nicely vegetated land and areas that you can see the difference that they made.
Important lessons become evident to the workers. They see a future not only for themselves, but a world for their offspring. They see that the renewal of growth renews more than the life of a salmon.
My name is Tasha Swan. I am here with the Salamentos group, and I am in the Comanche Indian tribe. And as far as I can think back, my grandparents are in the Comanche Indian tribe too. I feel happy that I can help and contribute to something that will help outside, like the nature and everything, so we still have it in later years.
Look, Hall.
Yeah? What was the most fun?
Me and Dad help. Me job. Dig. Plant. Digging.
Good.
And I'm gonna call and check money.
Yeah?
And all money. And Kai and help me. And Mom. And I'm 19. And I go try.
At the end of the season, a Youth Appreciation Day picnic is held at Swiftwater Campground for all the youth organizations who have worked this year on the river restoration project.
I'm State Senator John Torgerson. I represent this district where the YRC has done a lot of their work here on the Kenai River and also up on the Russian River, where they've been working the last about 3 years, I think. Overall, I think this is one of the better projects that we've started for the youth of our community. Undoubtedly, what they're leaving here will be a monument to their work. The most important thing is the education that the children and the young adults of the community are learning about the habitat of the river and how to take care of it. Basically, in my view, that if you want to teach a generation how to take care of the environment, then you basically start as young as you can. And this is certainly a success program that I believe will reap benefits for the area for years to come.
I'm Tom Bedecker, the city manager for Soldotna. The city operates Swiftwater Park, where the Youth Restoration Corps has been doing a habitat restoration project. The city's proud to get involved with a project like this for several reasons. First, the kids get to perform a useful activity and a service to the community. They learn what's involved in protecting habitat, and they also learn how difficult it is to maintain and build a facility and keep it in operation for the public. Hopefully this gives them a better appreciation of what's involved and also what they need to do to help maintain it in the future.
I'm Eric. Perugan, and I'm from the Salamantas Native Association. It's outdoor work, being outside and around my friends all the time. That's really great. I enjoy that kind of work. The great outdoors, nice fresh air. You always have the sound of the river going on. That's pretty nice. I guess it's just because I'm helping something. Yeah, there's nice fish in there too. I like to catch one of them one of these days when I get a day off. So many of my children's can fish here someday. I'm sure they'd like that.
Okay, Leonard Efta. I'm from Kenai. I've been here for the last 37 years. I taught school at Kenai Central for 19 years. I am involved as a commercial fisherman. I think that when you get a group of young people together, particularly this age group, with the right supervision and got the right project, I think that there's some real benefit to the kids and to the river system.
My name is Gabrielle Hart. I'm here with Swampy. I'm bettering the community and making a stand for youth, giving them a better name, I guess. We're having good, clean fun and doing something good for our community and for everybody else.
I'm Representative Hal Smalley. I'm from District 9, which is Nikiski, Kenai, north end of California Beach. Came over today on an invite to take a look at the project that the Corps has put together on the restoration of the bank here. Over the years, they've done just a fantastic job of preservation on the bank and habitat protection. And I really encourage them to continue doing it. They're doing an excellent job. I've taught in Alaska 27 years in the classroom. This is an outstanding program because, again, the whole idea of the sciences and habitat protection and getting kids in the high schools involved.
A grand example of industry working with the environment and the community is when Phillips Petroleum built the walkway and the stairs at Swiftwater. And then the Youth Restoration Corps completed the bank stabilization and vegetation work.
I'm Peter Machicki with Phillips Petroleum. My personal feelings about the project is I'm quite thrilled to be working for a company that allowed not only my participation but put so much effort into an environmental community project such as this.
Much is gained by the members of the Youth Restoration Corps as they work on their projects. Self-esteem and knowledge reaches out to them, and it grows along with the stabilization of the bank. Fritz Kraus is the educational coordinator of the Alaska Department of Fish and Game. See, the youth program is not all work. It's designed to be 60% work and 40% education. Fritz is the man who furnishes the education.
The darker brown, the more oxygen you have. Would we expect to have a lot of oxygen up here? You bet. Okay, so we got good color. Get your feet under there, dig it up. Let's churn it right up. Then find a nice flat spot over here and set that down. And we'll get your forceps out here.
They sound like they're getting stoneflies and mayflies. We're not getting many of the castor flies.
There's a big mayfly if they don't have one of those.
Right.
Take that off too, and there might be some little, there's a stonefly too. So you got one of each of the big three right there. Are you happy with your sample?
Oh yeah, we got some more. I got a worm and we got...
Ooh, okay. Wow. So there's at least 3 different stoneflies. Probably a 2-year-old fish. Spots. The spots, though, he doesn't have quite the orange fin markings. But so what do we got there? That's our resident Dolly Varden there. Little orange spots, par marks, relatively torpedo-shaped orange fins. This is a really nice Dolly Varden. You see the orange specks on there? Nice orange fins. These are really nice dollies. Look like they're eating well, too. Look at the stomachs.
A structured experience teaches leadership and how to contribute to society. These young people are learning by hands-on experience. The textbook is brought to life and grows before their very eyes. The Youth Restoration Corps is a continuing effort. In the past 3 years, they have completed 4,900 lineal feet of restoration work on popular salmon streams in different parts of Alaska. Future projects for the year 2000 are already planned. Into the millennium, new projects will continue on the Russian, the Kenai, and the Little Susitna rivers. Their work is being recognized. Awards have been given. A legislative citation was given by Alaska's 20th state legislature. Lieutenant Governor Fran Elmer presented the Youth Restoration Corps the Spirit of Youth Award. And last May in Washington, D.C., they were given the National Rise to the Future Award. The Youth Restoration Corps leaves more of a legacy than restoring habitat. Catching fish is a lateral benefit. The habitat of the fish is our habitat. We are all dependent on natural resources and pristine streams. Its health is our health. These young people, under the direction of Kelly Wolf, are granting us a gift that opens the door to the circle of life.
These youth represent the nation's greatest natural resource that we have, and are working to restore one of Alaska's greatest natural resources. I hope you enjoy the video, and I want to thank all the sponsors and supporters that have made this program what it is today.
We're awesome!
That'll be good.
I'm going fishing and I'm flying low. I'm going fishing and I'm flying low. The Kenai River flows just 2 hours from my door. I'm going fishing and I'm flying low. I saw an eagle fly in the sky. The fish weren't biting, and I wondered why. He swooped down and grabbed himself a fish. I wondered if that's his favorite dish. I'm going fishing and I'm flying low. I'm going fishing and I'm flying low. The Kenai River flows just 2 hours from my door. I'm going fishing and I'm flying low. I caught a rainbow and I let him go. Tried to catch his mother, but I was too slow. I fell in the river and I caught myself a shiver. Picked up my pole and I headed home. I'm going fishing and I'm flying low.